Hararo. All right, let's see. 30 years of dating. 44 right now. So, looking back, dated many different types of women. Let me see the lessons I've learned, pros and cons or whatever. I'm gonna freestyle this shit. So I wrote down some bullet points and let's see if I can make this an interesting clip. Okay. So age 7, it's like first, second grade. I remember this girl Jenny and Farah. There's like recess and you're outside playing. I remember first interaction with these two. They're like fighting over me. Hey, it's mine. This is like second grade. Like, what the fuck? So Jenny, cutie. Farah, she was like Indian, but Jenny was Chinese. She would like call my house and shit. And my parents would make fun of me, like, who's that? Who's that girl calling? And then I think Jenny's birthday party invited me over. She was only like a few blocks away from me. 3, maybe 4 blocks away. And then birthday party, I remember she had an older sister. Don't remember much. Like fucking 7 years old. I remember we went to Toys R Us and this was really big at the time. And I remember the dad. It was a lot of kids. Probably like 10 plus kids. And the dad's like, yeah, you guys pick out whatever you want. I remember my first Lego. It was a Lego boat. Pretty cool that he bought us all Legos. Can't say no to kids, right? So that's cool. This is not really a date. This is my first intro to women. Not women. Girls. Fucking age 7. Alright, let's see. This is my first date, I guess. Age 13. Rachel. She was black. The dad's black. Mom's white. It all started... Fucking... I remember my boy... He was dating this girl, Sasha, and Sasha is friends with Rachel. So it was like a double date, I guess. So my boy, Sasha, we went to Rachel's house and we fucking played the Ouija board. It was weird. The 4 of us doing that Ouija weird shit. And then, I wouldn't really call this a date, you know. She obviously expressed interest in me. We were talking on the phone all the time. But eventually, we were nearby Rachel's house. I remember this clearly. We were at one of my boys' apartment building. And like, I remember she and her friend Nakia came out of the elevator. And Nakia looked at me and she's like, oh, you like Sam? Whatever that means. I mean... I wasn't like the most popular kid at the time, Asian. So Rachel was very pretty. She's one of those like popular kids. So I guess like, and also Nakia was also popular too. So it's like, oh, you like Sam? Fucking popular kids liking non-popular. I don't know. It is what it is. So after that, we never spoke again. But cool, Rachel now is a fucking lawyer. She became a book writer. Became a millionaire selling books and her system on how to become a millionaire. I'm not sure. I don't know. Married, has a husband in North Carolina, I think. Have a big ass ranch and shit. Pretty cool. Multi-millionaire lawyer. Alright, anyways, next, let's see, age 14, Miyoko. So Miyoko, she's black and Asian. I think I know mom's definitely black, so I guess dad was Japanese. Not much. So what's funny is previously Rachel stopped talking to me because I got disapproval from her best friend. And then Miyoko, I liked her. She liked me. But I think I got made fun of when people found out. I was like, oh, you like Miyoko? Whatever that is. Maybe she was kind of nerdy when we were young. I don't know. So that fucked with me. And then I was like, no, I don't like Miyoko. So we eventually stopped dating or talking. I don't know. Next, let's see. Age 14, Cindy. Okay, Viet. Don't remember much. She had like Coke bottle glasses and shit. Yeah. Probably dated for a little bit. You're kids. You like each other. That's not really dating. Anyways, next, 15. Age 15, Sabrina. So Sabrina is Italian, and I remember the dad German. He was a car salesman. Sabrina, and she had a hot ass friend, Crystal. That's why I wrote hottie friend Crystal. And Sabrina's mom had a minivan at the time. She would like drive us around. I remember going to was that Lincoln Center? No, Radio City Rockettes. Hung out with Crystal a lot. Sabrina was cool. She would come over, play video games and shit. Eventually it didn't work out. Whatever, you 15. Yeah. Alright, next. 19, huh? So this chick, Susan, she Hakka and Indian. Mom was a computer store person. So I got my very first computer from Susan's mom. She hooked up like... This was back in the days where AOL was coming up. I remember I couldn't afford AOL. I had to borrow my friend's AOL account to sign in. And Susan was my first... We had a lot of fun after school special, if you know what that means. But eventually she moved to Canada, and long distances, and that didn't work out well. Now she's married, has a kid. Husband looks cool. Says hello once in a while. Alright, next, age 20, Irene. Taiwanese. This was my friend's cousin. We went to Pennsylvania on a few trips. She was there. This was the time I just broke up with my ex recently, and then eventually it didn't work out because she's like, why are you talking about your ex? So she told her cousin, my friend, so that didn't work out. I wrote her a poem. I remember we were at a restaurant in Pennsylvania, and the waitress said super salad, and she didn't understand what the fuck. And it's soup or salad. And then I wrote her a poem about super salad. I forgot the poem's there. It's in my file somewhere. Dig it up one day. Yeah, could have worked out. She cute. Nope. Next, let's see. Another again, age 20, Keishan, Chinese. So this was my first non-speaking English date. When you're Asian and you don't really speak English, you call them FOBs, F-O-B, fresh off the boat. Kind of fucked up, but I don't really recall much. Didn't work out. Let's see, age 21, Christine. So Christine and I met, this was during like Friendster era, so this is way before Facebook. I'm not sure, I met her on one of She had a boyfriend, recently broke up. I also was still fucked up from my relationship, so we had that in common. I remember like chatting all day on AIM. Fucking like, I remember this. There's that one day we were chit chatting for like 10 plus hours, and eventually we met. She lived kind of far. I forgot where. I remember I had to like go to Grand Central, take a train to her, long ass commute. And then eventually she was going to school at FIT, and eventually she moved close to me. She would invite me, cook me dinner, we have a little fun. I wanted to take her to Disney in Florida at the time, and then she's like, nah, you gotta meet my mom first. So we had dinner with the mom, and she's like, oh, what are you doing? This time I was studying engineering at the time, mechanical, and she's like, oh, what are your aspirations? What are you gonna do with your career? At the time, I was like, all right, after engineering school, I'll probably become like aviation mechanic, not mechanic, engineer. I don't know. That didn't work out. So, all right. Let's see. Age 25. Anime. Anime was this Chinese chick. I remember in Brooklyn she lived. And at the time I didn't have a car, so I would have to trek it to her. Or actually, she actually trekked it to me most of the time. She took the Brooklyn Chinatown bus to Flushing, and then the quick bus to me. Damn, I don't remember much of her. I remember she had a fatty, and my sister and a boyfriend would make fun of her. It's like anime. Her name is Anna May. Sounds like anime, like the Japanese cartoon. Let's see. Anime. We went to a barbecue. I remember with my boys at the time. I remember at the barbecue, she was talking to other friends of mine's girlfriends, and hitting it off. It didn't really work out, so she slept over a few times. I was either too stupid to notice, like, what the fuck, she's sleeping over. You know what that means, but I didn't do anything. And I just remember she had a fatty. Anyways, anime. What's fucked up is that thing. After we stopped talking, eventually, like, this was during the time of not Friendster, MySpace. So she hit up one of my friends, and like months later, she shows up at my door with my friend. What the fuck? You trying to fuck my friends now? I don't know, whatever. And I remember I kind of didn't like that, and then we went to a restaurant. Me, my friend, and her had something, and now I remember another friend walked in, and I remember not introducing my friend to anime because I kind of like dislike her for showing up with my friend and shit. I was like, fuck it. And now I remember after that, we were driving around, and my boy, who I thought was my boy, cracked the joke. He's like, yo, what, are you not taking your meds or something? And she and him both laughed at me for not taking medication. But this is like, how are you gonna use your friend's medical condition as a joke too? Like, anyways, whatever. I won't talk about that. Next. Ooh, Taryn. Age 27, met Taryn. Taryn is Japanese and Chinese. I remember I met Taryn at... I was working for this professor, and she was an architect. And then she would have her house parties, and she had this very nice apartment by Wall Street. Not Wall Street. It's by Wall Street. It's like... I don't know. Wall Street area. So she had these fucking apartment parties. That's how I met Taryn. Kicked it off. Taryn enjoyed our conversation at the night. And then she's like, yo, let's go check out the Brooklyn Museum. Murakami, the artist, is hosting, I mean, not hosting, they have his artwork. Yeah, eventually I remember that plan didn't go through. I think we're like, fuck Brooklyn. So we ended up meeting in Lower Manhattan, walked around by Wall Street area, walked from there up to Chinatown. I remember she's like, yo, you want to get this fruits? And then we got some fruits and handed out to homeless people. And she's like, are you into this? Like, do you want to, volunteer shelters and stuff? So sure, why not? And then eventually it didn't work out because this was a 2008. I had like an episode, and I remember I had a watch with the hands, and I wore the watch backwards. And then she saw that, and she was like, what the fuck? And eventually I kind of scared her away because I was in an episode. Ooh. Alright, next. Katerina, age 28. Katerina, I met in architecture school. She was Greek. Very pretty. She caught my attention when I had this modeling class. At the time, I wasn't bald yet, so I had a lot of hair. Like, I guess, I don't know, probably looked not as attractive to her. And my boy's like, yo, Katerina is pretty cute, right? And minus the whiskers. So a lot of Greek women, they have like a lot of facial hair. She is cute. And then when she like shaves, she look beautiful. So I think I met her fall. And then next semester it was spring. And then this was the time in 2008 where I started going bald, and I shaved it. So one semester I had a lot of hair, and the next semester I was bald. I remember showing up to my first class, and Katerina was all the way in the back. And then as I was walking in, she, like fucking snaps her neck. Looking at me. So that kind of caught my attention. I was like, oh shit, okay. And then eventually, throughout the semester, I remember the same semester, in another class. Yeah, I remember this was a computer class. This was a time I was like kind of working out. And I remember I like took off my jacket, and my arms were big at the time, Not now, but I saw that. I saw her looking at me and my arms, and I was like, okay. And then I think at the end of the class, I put on my jacket and I was heading out. And then she's like, you heading home? I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, you want to take a train? Okay. It was nice throughout that train ride. Got to know each other a little better. And then this was a time I was snowboarding a lot. There were times where she caught me. Like, we were talking while I was on the mountain. And there were times I remember when I went skating and I was talking to her. But it didn't really work out. She was here on a visa. So eventually she went back to somewhere in Europe. And then I remember she asked me to visit her. She's like, yo, when you coming in to visit me? I think I wasn't in the financial situation to be like dropping everything and just flying to Europe. So that didn't work out. That sucks. But she's married now. She has a cute baby. Pretty cool. Spoke to her a few years ago. Then she dropped off the face of the earth. Alright, let's see next. So this one I was 29. This one I don't want to mention her name because she's my professor. And also I'm not going to tell you her ethnicity. Yeah, I don't want this video coming across friends of mine fucking putting 2 and 2 together. Wait a minute. Alright, so This one's interesting. She's my professor. I remember like I fucked up on a project, needed an extension, and then so I would show up at our office once a week to see progress on the extension. Hopefully, to complete it in time to graduate. So I was 29. This was time uh, yeah, but so I remember this happened. I don't know. Anyways, so she's like, "Yo, you're about to graduate. Want to check out grad school? Okay." We check out grad school. We hit up Columbia, and then she was showing me around. She's like, "Yo, we checked out." So this was during the time where it was like May or June. So this presentation time. So her and I, we got to check out all these like architectural presentations for grad school students. It was pretty cool. And then after grad school, we had dinner at that Seinfeld diner, and after that, we went to the park nearby. And this is what got interesting. Like we hung out at the park. I remember sitting at the bench with her, and then this little kid fucking goes by, and the kid fell. I think it was on a scooter or something. And she's like, "Yo, don't say anything." She's like, "Watch, watch, watch." And then the kid runs away. That kid fell and didn't really cry, but she's like, "Yo, don't say anything." And the kid is running away to the parent, and he eventually start crying. And she's like, "You see that?" And then after that, we as we were leaving the park, I remember she said to me, she's like, "Oh, if I was younger, I would ask you out." And I was like, "What the fuck?" So we had a age difference of 15 years plus or minus 2. So I don't want to tell you the exact age difference. You might do a little homework and figure out who I'm talking about. But what's interesting is that she's always DTF. We had a little fun. There were times where we went shopping in the outlets, and there's a big ass parking lot and empty. We have a little fucking fun outdoors. Anyways, traveling was good. Shit, my monitor just traveled to DC, Boston. It was fun. Let's see, as a pizza. So there are lessons that I learned from dating an older woman. I remember one time we were at a pizzeria in Astoria. Maybe I've said something, so she was mad at me. She's like, "You know what? And we just ordered." And she was mad at me. I'm not exactly sure what I said to her. So she's like, "You know what? I don't feel like eating. Let's leave." I was like, hold on. Let's resolve this. And then everything worked out. So instead of, getting mad and just leaving, dealing with the situation later, I've learned to deal with the situation now. And eventually, the pizza came, we had dinner, and we laughed about it. We're like, it's a good thing that we dealt with whatever problem I caused by making her unhappy. So that's a good lesson I've learned. Let's see. This is almost busted 3 times. Fuck. So the first time I almost got busted being with her is that we were in the office. The lights are off. We're like fucking making out. And one of her, fellow professors fucking knocked on the door because the door is locked. And then eventually he walked in and he noticed something was not right. But we played it cool and we didn't get busted. So that was number 1. Number 2, one of my friends, who's our fellow student, we were by NYU, and then I guess She was dressed very nice, right? And I remember we were walking holding hands, and when we saw our friend, well, my friend and her student, coming close from us, we eventually let go and kind of split a little. Hopefully, you didn't see that. And then he's like, "Hey, how are you? What you doing here?" And then he's also looking at me. He's like, "What you doing here?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of bullshit we made up, but that was very scary." Fucking holding hands, gotta immediately separate just then I get busted. So that's number 2. So this one, and then the third time we almost got busted, we were fucking Central Park on the grass. I just remember it was big ass rocks that we were looking at, but eventually she saw one of her, not friends, but like associates from the department, and she's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" Yeah, so I almost got busted 3 times. Eventually this relationship was my longest out of everyone. Dated roughly 6 years. And then eventually I remember she was on vacation and she's like, "Yo," as a joke, she's like, "Yo, maybe you should go on dates, since I'm not there." So my dumb ass fucking took that literally. Yo, when a woman tells you to do something, shit, that's not what she really means. So she's like going on a date. So my dumb ass went on Plenty of Fish, POF. So I met this girl, Angelique. So let me save Angelique for later. But so, and then when she came home, she was like, "What you do?" I was like, "Yo, I went on a date." She's like, "What? What are you talking?" I was like, "Yo, you told me to go on a date." So that's what I did. Eventually she got fucking pissed off. She's like, "Yo, show me the text." And then we were downtown. She saw the text. She's like, "Yo, text this girl, tell her you're not interested." And me, I kind of had this, what do you call that? Not a double take. Oh, I hesitated to delete the text or text her or whatever it was right away. And then she was pissed. She had every right to be. I remember like we were out walking. I was walking her home, and eventually she was so pissed. She's like, "Fuck you! Don't follow me." Yeah. So that kind of led to yeah. So whenever a woman tells you to do something, don't take that shit literal. That's not what that fucking mean. And then like during the 6 years I was dating her, I came across a few people. Like they didn't know I was taken because that relationship was secret. So during the time I also let's see, 1, 2, 3. So Catherine I met at Carlos's house party, and then I remember helping with the chairs, setting up for the party. And then Catherine, she's black, and she took notice of me, and she was interested. So I hung out with her, and then we went to Central Park that day. I learned that those Central Park light posts has these little tags, and each tag is actually like the street number of where you're at. Bro, that's pretty cool. And afterwards, we had ice cream. And then eventually I didn't really talk to her. Because, I was dating my professor for I told her about it. Told my professor girlfriend at the time about it. She fucking cried, man. I mean, I don't have any intention to, cheat. But I was curious, going on dates, Because earlier in the relationship with the professor, I wasn't sure how serious that was gonna get and if it was even gonna last. So I was curious about going on dates. Yeah, there we go. Number two, like Paula, a friend from architectural school. I was 30 at the time. Went to movies a lot with Paula. And then I remember one time we hung out. She had like red lipstick. I never see Paula wearing lipstick. I think she was curious about dating me, possibly. I don't know. But then eventually something happened. I remember in jail on the phone call, I was like, "Yo, Paula, I really like you." Like, and then I think 2 days later she shows up at Rikers and yeah, but eventually that didn't work out. Because during the times I was a resident at Rikers Island, Paula met someone, and eventually when I came home, I think I tried to hit her up, but she was also seeing someone. So that's a no. That could have been something. Paula was always pretty. Yeah, there's something I like about her. She didn't give a fuck. She was frugal. She's cute. Good vibes. Definitely someone I would consider. Yeah. Anyways, next. So there's another Katerina, also from architectural school, European chick. She hit me up. I think she was visiting from Europe, and then we met. Went to the 9/11 memorial. It was kind of cool getting to know her and stuff. And then from there, we walked across the bridge back to our school. I remember meeting up with this other friend. She didn't graduate yet. Her name is Elena. And then me, Katerina, and Elena, we went to have tacos. And after that, I don't know. We didn't, not sure what happened. Anyways, because I was still in a relationship with the professor. So I guess that's, fizzled out. Now, Angelique. So it says 35. So Angelique is the the key of not dating my professor anymore. So Angelique met her in POF, went on a date. We went to the High Line. I remember meeting her at by Times Square, New York Times building, right? Met her there. From there, we walked towards. We got some coffee first, and then we walked towards the West Side. And then West Side, I think for some reason it was closed that day. I'm not sure what it was. Anyways, it was closed. I was like, yo, fuck it, let's check out the High Line. So from the West Side and 42nd Street, there was a park that was closed, and then we walked towards downtown, and then got on the High Line by 33rd. Got on the entrance to the High Line at 33rd, walked to 14th from 33rd, and then from 14th walked back up, and then I dropped her off at the train station because she lived in Jersey at the time. So dropped her off. That's date number one. And then that's when the professor found out. I was like, yo, why the fuck you delete her text? And then I was like, oh fuck, I fucked that one up. So I think we officially separated. So I was like, alright, let me see if Angelique is down for some more dates. When on a few more dates, I remember she worked at this fancy restaurant, very exclusively, one of those Michelin rated, very expensive restaurants. Forgot the name. And also, I don't think it's there anymore. A lot of these high-end restaurants, they close after a few years. Anyways, went on another date at this was by, what's that free college? Fuck, I can't remember, man. Old as fuck. Can't remember shit. I know how to get there. I just can't recall the name right now. Anyways, so we had like dinner. I remember it was like this Japanese spot. You go in, like you walk downstairs, you go in. We had dinner. It was nice. Drove her home. I remember on the way to driving her home. I remember. I forgot what kind of joke. God damn, this sucks. Anyways, we laughed about like I guess it's like the clubbing time. This was probably Friday night. People are lined up for clubs. I remember something about like I think she said or I said like, yo, look at those girls' ass. Something like that. I don't know. I guess she was testing my perviness or something. I don't know. Dropped her off again. And then eventually we had one more date. I think I picked her up again at her work. We went to this noodle spot, soba, some Japanese soba. And then afterwards, I remember we had ice cream. So we got to this like hipster ice cream spot. Got the fancy ice cream. Came outside. This was funny. Like we were sitting outside having ice cream, and eventually there was that pause. So this pause is the kiss me silly pause, and I didn't do it. I think I was fucked up on the recent breakup, and I was kind of like, yo, I don't know, I'm not really ready for a relationship yet. So that pause kind of like fuck, you know. There's a window of opportunity with women. If you don't make your move in that window is closed and gone for good, son. Yeah, eventually, after that date, she like ghosted me, and I didn't hear from her for like 7 years, and I'll tell you why later. So remember, 7 years, right? Okay, and then my next, I wouldn't call this a girlfriend, more like date and a half. So Jadelle. So this is 2017. I got into a motorcycle accident. On the day of the motorcycle accident, they took me to Bellevue Hospital, and eventually let me go. So I was leaving Bellevue, walking around, and eventually I walk into this restaurant where Jadelle was working at. It's a Japanese fusion restaurant. I remember that day ordering whatever soba. It was like 4 different. I was like, yo, what? You know, casually, like, yo, what do you recommend? And she's like, oh, do you like pork or something? So I think I got the pork one. And then, so I wasn't clearly thinking. Now, how do I describe this? Yo, I survived a motorcycle fucking accident and had fucking noodles. I remember Giselle, after she took my order, she came out in front of the counter and there's like not decorations, like, you know, there's like things that you buy that's on display, and she was like fixing that display. So I just finished my noodles. It was really delicious, and then I saw her fixing or arranging the items on the display. So I was next to her and also kind of bent, because she was like bent fixing the decorations. And I said to her, I was like, yo, I just survived a motorcycle crash, and if I don't ask you this, I'm gonna regret it. And since I walked away from this, I'm not gonna take this chance, and I would like to ask you out. And then she's like, huh? No, that's not the exact word. I said, I walked away from this accident. I'm gonna regret this, or I'm gonna live a life of no regrets. Something in those. Man, I really try to recall this. Anyways, so eventually she agreed to having a date. She's like, listen, there's cameras around. I can't really just give you my number like that. I was like, no worries, I got this. And then she goes back to the counter. I remember exactly, I grabbed like Perrier, some kind of sparkling water. I bring it to the house. She's like, "Oh, you fancy." And then she gave me a receipt, wrote her name real quick and her name. And that's how I got her number. So that day, I go home, shower real quick, and then hit her up. She's like, I don't know you. You might be a weirdo. So meet me at the Brooklyn Museums. So she didn't give me her address. So I go pick her up. And then I pick her up. I remember she looking good. Damn. I remember it was wet. So I had an umbrella in the trunk. And I parked real quick by the hydrant. Fucking walked. Looking at her. Damn, she looked good. So we hop in the car. And then we drive from Brooklyn to Manhattan. So I put a resi, this fucking, got all fancy and shit, took her to Hibachi. Oh, Benihana's. That's what it is. So Benihana's was by, I don't know, I remember it was like 50 something ish Manhattan. And then, what's interesting is that when you're fucked up in these episodes, which was caused by the motorcycle accident, get a little clever and creative. I remember we got close to Benihana's. We didn't park yet. And I remember I said to her, I was like, yo, if I park here and I get a ticket, I'm gonna kiss you. And then if we park and we come back and no ticket, no. Did I say I get a ticket and I kiss you, or I don't get a ticket and I kiss you? I don't know, one or the other. And she's like, she got busted out. She's like, yo, so let's just pay for it. And then we parked. I paid for the ticket, left it, walked. Benihana was like half a block away. I remember it was like closed due to some kind of security. And which I found out now is because there was the United Nations has some kind of event, so in that area gets closed off. So that makes sense. That's why it was closed off, that area in Benihana's. But they're like, "What are you here for?" I was like, "Oh, Benihana's." So we walked in. So we're at the bar waiting. I'm not sure what kind of clever shit I said to her, because what sucks is that this episode I had, also because I crashed my motorcycle, I didn't hit my head. So that kind of fucked with the in and outs of, so I was kind of like in and out of my memory. So there are a lot of shit I couldn't remember. Not because I'm old, because it like, your memory's fucked up. Anyways, we go upstairs after waiting in the bar area. We go upstairs, we get sat down, and then it was like, it was a table, performance table, right? So the chef is in front of you. There's people here. So I sat right next to her. So we were in the corner. I was here. I don't remember the drinks we ordered, but I remember we both got like chicken teriyaki. And like we were getting close during dinner. And eventually the bill came, paid the bill. Sure, it was expensive, I remember. I think it was like, fuck, man. It's like 150, 2017 for two people. Shit, 75 each? What the fuck? That's Benihana. And then I remember right after we paid, we both used to use the bathroom. And then as I was waiting, when she came back from the bathroom, I just fucking grabbed her and kissed her. I don't really remember her reaction from it, whether it was like, I just remember I kissed her, and then we went back to the car, drove her home. So on the way home, I remember I was like coughing, not sure what. And then she's like, yo, do you want to get some tea? We stopped, got some tea. She's like, oh, yeah. I'm not sure what kind of, anyway, some kind of fancy tea. We got back into the car. We drove. got to her house, and then I don't think she kissed me goodbye. But she's like, oh, that house. And she said something weird like, yo, you see over there? She's like, yo, someone died recently. So I remembered. Like, what the fuck? Drove home. Anyways, next day, I should leave this detail out. Next day, I showed up at the restaurant and I got arrested. So this is another story. Not sure if I want to talk about my arrest. Alright, next. Jadelle. Eventually she moved to Florida. What's interesting is Jadelle has a fucking twin sister. Yeah. Alright, next, age 41, dating Lena. So I meet Lena at Queens Center. I think I was visiting my cousin, who's a few blocks away from Queens Center. So after hanging out with my cousin, I go to Queens Center, get some fucking, some kind of sushi spot. Oh, excuse me. Sushi. And I was coughing, not sure what it is. And then I think I caught the attention of Lena, and she was with her mom and dad. We were talking. I guess she was interested in me. Got her number. Well, she gave me her number, and eventually we met up again. She had an interest. She wanted to get to know me, so I meet her up at Yankee Stadium. I remember that day. It took forever to show. Whatever time it was, I was waiting for an hour plus. Eventually, she showed up. And then she's like, the mom and dad was there. She's like, oh, you guys have fun. But can I get your ID? I was like, the fuck? What do you need my ID? So, gave them my ID. Apparently, she's like some kind of... I think she went to Juilliard. And she was very heavily ingrained in the music industry or something like that. I guess the parents wanted to do a background check on me or something. I don't know whatever that means. And I also remember I was like, yo, you're okay with me dating your daughter? You know I'm 41 at the time, and then Lena was like 30 or 20 something, almost 30. I forgot. And they're like, yeah, we cool. And then afterwards, we went from Yankee Stadium to I remember some Jamaican spot. Yeah, we had dinner. It was good. And afterwards, we went to movies. Seen some special movie. Oh, I forgot. It was kind of cool. And afterwards, we were in the car, chit-chatting, hit it off a little bit. But eventually... I don't know. All she talks about, like music, I don't know. That's not really my area of interest. My area of interest, mostly like engineering, technology, architecture. It's cool. I just don't care about celebrities and music and all that. It's just not my cup of tea. But like the last 2 years, she still hits me up every once in a while. Eventually, I was telling her I was dating my girlfriend that I'll talk about soon. I was like, yo, listen, man. I'm dating someone right now. I can't be like talking to you like that. And she's like, oh, okay, but I was there first. I was like, yes, we did date before my current girlfriend, but I was like, respectfully, I can't do this. I was like, we could still be friends and all that. And I remember recently she hit me up. I was like, yo, listen, I already told you I can't be doing this, yo. And she's like, yo, I just want to give you some head. I was like, thank you. I'm fucking flattered. But respectfully, I can't do this shit, man. Anyways, eventually, she still hits me up. I don't know. I might change my mind one day due to my current girlfriend situation. I don't know. I doubt it. All right, next, Korea, age 41. So Korea is a friend of my friend Robbie, who was my manager 10 plus years ago. Uh, yeah. So I met Korea through Robbie. I remember I met her at this not a bar, it's like a bar restaurant in Brooklyn. And I remember I saw Korea that night. I was like, damn. I told her straight out. I was like, yo, you are very beautiful. Can I take you out sometime? And then she was like kind of fucked up, drunk. I don't know. I got her number. And then eventually she called a cab. She lived in the Bronx. She called a cab that night. I just remember, yo, get her home safe to the cab driver and whatever. And a few days later, I text her. She's like, yo, who's this? I was like, yo, this is blah, blah, blah. We met. Oh, she's like, oh. And this time I was really into jiu-jitsu at the time, and I had all these black and blues. And we would like joke around in the text, and she's like, yo, please cover up when we meet up. I don't want to be seen with you with all these bruises. People think I'm beating on you. Because she's a black belt judo practitioner. It was kind of cool. I picked her up. We went to Brooklyn Bridge. Walked around. Came off the bridge. We were at the park in Dumbo. We really talked. I was trying to get to know her, trying to feel her out, see where this could be heading. So the first night we met, she drank a lot, and then that day afterwards, went back to the same bar that we met. She also computer. She also drank a lot, and then eventually, it didn't really work out. I remember like from that bar, fucking Robbie came that day, and then like he's like, "Yo, you guys want to go here?" So we go to another restaurant spot. It was kind of like a dance environment. She was grinding on me. It was kind of, I don't know. After that, it didn't work out. And then we didn't really talk much after that. All right, next. So this one's interesting. Age 42, I meet my current girlfriend. I think. I don't know. She's black. Fucking, I was a janitor, 2023, 42. I just got fired on my birthday. So this time I was still on parole. I was like, yo, fuck it. So I go to MIT to see about going to grad school. And I also found out you could also go straight to a PhD program without being, having graduate degree. Anyways, that's another. So I meet her in the engineering department. She was just sitting, and I just spoke to like two students about, yo, where's the architectural department? Because I want to check it out. And they're like, yo, go here. So after I spoke to the two students, I pressed the elevator waiting, and then for some reason I look behind me, and there she was. I don't want to say her name. Let's just call her Fadooms. So Fadooms was sitting on the bench. She's on a little laptop, and I go next to her. I was like, "Excuse me, how how intense are these graduate programs?" So first I was like, "Yo, are you grad or undergrad?" She's like, "Grad student." I was like, "Oh," and then she said mechanical. I was like, "Oh wow," I was impressed. And then so I said to her, "How intense are these being a grad student?" And she's like, "Hold up, we'll talk further." So so this is the bench. She takes her laptop, but she left her purse with me, and I'm just sitting there like, the fuck is this, a prank? Like, why would you leave your purse with a stranger? Anyway, she goes upstairs, use a bathroom, drop off her laptop real quick, and then comes back. And then we go have dinner. It was nice. A few blocks away. Dinner was nice. Got to know her. Afterwards, she filmed me with our interaction with a bunny. because there are like little bunnies running around at MIT, and this is like winter time. It was good, and then so I met her in February. Haven't spoken to her in months. I think she reached out in July. I remember I was trying to have a little fun, and then she hits me up. I was like, oh shit. Stepped out, talk, and then I think this was July, and then she reached out again once more in October. She's like, hey, I'm in New York. So I meet up with her. This was late at night. This was like fucking 1 a.m. I remember that night, I picked her up. She was like in the NYU dorms area by Chinatown. We go to nearest bar. I remember I had fucking my leather jacket I usually wear, and I had no shoes on. I had fucking slippers or sandals. And then me and her would try to go in the bar, and they're like, yo, bro, what's your shoes? And then I try to talk my way into. I was like, "Yo, this is my friend from Boston. We're trying to get in. You know, can you overlook this?" And also, this was fucking Monday night, 1 a.m. Ain't no, or it's either Sunday night. No, it's Monday night, 1 a.m. Right? Ain't nobody there. I don't give a fuck. I think that's their nice way of saying you're not really welcome here. Probably like he says, Asian, black girl. It's not our kind of people. I don't know. Or maybe there's a dress code or whatever. I doubt it. Anyway, so we go back to the car. I do have shoes in the trunk. It was my skates and shoes. And then I put that on. She's like, yeah, it's good. And I remember I had this raggedy ass hat. She's like, yo, get rid of that. And then we go to another bar. We were on our way back to the bar. She's like, you know what, fuck that. I don't like the vibe there. So we go to another bar. We have our interaction. It was really good. So, the Angelique. Remember I said 7 years. So after our first date, I guess, I drop her off. I remember after the bar we got halal, and then after halal I dropped her off, and then she's like, "Oh, you want some coffee tomorrow?" I was like, "Okay, sure." And what's weird is that so we meet at 1 a.m. do all this, and then by the time I got home it was like 6, and then I was up a little, and Angelique, of all people who haven't talked to me in like 7 years, calls me up. And I was like, what are the odds that, like, out of all the time, why you calling me on the day I'm meeting my new girlfriend? Anyways, fuck it, weird. So this one is, I'm getting old, I'm 44. This one has very high potential. Apparently, I don't know, she dipped on me 4 times. It seems like she's like avoidant relationship. This is where like they feel overwhelmed with the relationship, and then they can't handle the intensiveness and they dip. So she's been gone 4 times. Hold on, I'm gonna show you something. So I got one of these little expensive things, and kind of it looks really nice. I really hope it works out. I don't know, I'm getting old. Would be nice to have someone to give this to. These little things are kind of expensive. Hopefully it works out, and maybe be a wife, be a father someday. I don't know, I'm getting old. Yeah. It looks really nice. Ooh. Yeah. Kind of I don't know. I'm not sure what to say. So, all the years of dating, getting old. Yeah, so I'm Asian in America. Dated Asian, dated black, white. I don't know. Wifey's out there somewhere. Not sure what I'm trying to say. This is what happened when you try to freestyle and don't really have. I don't know. It is what it is. All right. Let's see. I'll come up with more topics to talk about. All right. Later.